Hello everyone. So, we've already gone through floor 1, floor 2, and we are on the final shelf. The final shelf, or the final floor of shelf 1. So, we start out with Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled, which is just an absolutely fantastic game. Seriously, who was it? Beanox? Beanox. Beanox did a fantastic job. You know, they made a classic game, they made the B-movie game, and they said, you know what? We can do better. And then they made Monster vs. Aliens. And then they said, you know what? We can do even better. And then they made Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. This game is just a fantastic racing game. In my opinion, it's better than Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed. It is just, man, it's so perfect. Controls are just so tight. They're really addictive. Tons of characters, tons of races. They have all the races from Crash Team Racing along with all the races from Crash Nitro Kart. That's basically 2 games combined. Like, seriously, it is a fantastic game. Tons of content for your money. Destiny. Yeah, this game was $1. And I decided to pick it up, and you know what? I quite like it. Yeah, I know a lot of people have their hatred towards Destiny, but I gotta say, I spent a lot of hours in this, and it's pretty cool. It probably helps that I'm a big Halo fan, so Destiny, it's pretty fun. I like Destiny quite a lot. I like how fast it is. That's probably why I enjoy it. Detroit Become Human. Really enjoy this game. Yeah, really enjoy it. I haven't played a ton of it. I'd say about 3 hours, 4 maybe. Not just 3 hours. But really enjoyable. I really love Quantic Dreams games. As I mentioned in the last video with Beyond Two Souls, this is also a really great game. Digimon Cyber Sleuth. Okay, 2 things to note. 1, I'm not a Digimon fan. 2, this was $1. I have not even played this game once. I know nothing about it. It was $1. I said, yeah, sure, why not? And then I bought it. And I have no idea what the game is about. I'm not a Digimon fan. So, yeah, I'm just gonna keep that over there. Knack. It's Knack, baby. I actually really enjoy this game. I know a lot of people hate it. I know Donkey makes fun of it, but I don't care. I really enjoy this game. This is a really fun, just, you know, fun, easy beat 'em up. It's just kind of a turn your brain off beat 'em up. And I like the storyline. I like the graphics. Pretty good. Yeah, it's a really fun, just relaxing platformer beat 'em up. Lego Movie video game. Yeah. I originally had... Oh, what version was it? I think it was the 360 version. No, I originally had the Xbox One version. I originally had the Xbox One version of this game, and then when I sold my Xbox One recently, I had to pick up another version of the game, so I picked up this version. And, it's a decent version. Well, I say it's a decent version. It's a great version, you know, it's Lego Movie. What I mean by that is it's a decent game. I think, first off, I like the game, and I like the levels and stuff like that. I do feel like it's a bit slow. It's one of the slower Lego games, which is strange because it's not made by Traveler's Tales Head Team. It doesn't say it right here, but it's made by Traveler's Tales Fusion, which is the team that does the handheld games. So you'd expect it to be faster, but it's not. So, kind of strange. But still a good game, though. Still a good Lego game. Little Big Planet 3, people hate this game. I absolutely adore it. I love Little Big Planet 3. By far, this is my favorite. There's just so many great levels in this. The characters are so good. The ending credits music is so good. The boss battles are really good. It's a lot easier than Little Big Planet 2, so it's nice to get into. This is a great game. Just absolutely fantastic game. Now, of course, you're noticing that it's a PlayStation Hits variant, and there's a funny explanation for that. So, originally, I had this on the PS3, way back when I first got my PS3. I got the PS3 version. It's only $10 digitally, so great price. And the PS3 version and I have to mention this whenever we're talking about Little Big Planet, is when it released, it had a very bad issue of corrupting your save file. So the PS3 and PS4 digital releases don't have that, and the PlayStation Hits version doesn't have that issue. It's only the day one releases of the PS3 and PS4, and the releases before the normal release. Sorry, okay. It's the normal release of the PlayStation 3 version and the pre-PlayStation Hits version of Little Big Planet 3, or pre-PlayStation Hits version of the PS4 version of Little Big Planet 3 includes the corruption save file. Every version released digitally or afterwards does not include that. It's kind of a weird thing, and if you're thinking about buying this game, kind of look into that and just totally make sure. So I got on the PS3 digitally. Well, I lost the credentials to that account, so I had to start up a new account. And I didn't buy it digitally there. I bought it physically. Then, literally a week after buying it physically, I'm like, oh crap, it's only $10 digitally. I completely forgot. So now I had this PS3 copy, which, remember, the PS3 copy has the corrupted data glitch. So I had this PS3 copy that was almost unplayable because every time I tried to boot it up, it would basically corrupt my save file. So I finally just had to say, you know what, I'm paying $20, I'm getting a PS4 copy, the PlayStation Hits variant, and I got it. So, long history with that, kind of annoying. Great game overall, but yeah. I feel like, honestly, people should give it a second try. I think a lot of the hatred towards Little Big Planet 3 is due to the fact of that huge glitch when it first launched. And I think people should really give it a try afterwards. Speaking of games that people hate, here is Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, which, again, I like. I like a lot. And it's not like, oh, you like Infinite, but you don't like the other games. No, I love Marvel MVC 1, I love MVC 2, I love MVC... Actually, I really love MVC 3, and I love MVC Infinite. This is a good game. You know, it's got a good storyline, fights are good, the story mode's fun. You know, people freak out about the graphics, but I don't really see that much wrong with it. It's a fine game. It's got a good roster. The roster, of course, I will mention, yeah, the roster is pretty bad, especially with how many DLC characters there are. I mean, jeez. I honestly, yeah, I will say that. That's my one knock against the game, is with how short the roster, with how small the roster is as is, there should not have been any DLC characters. But, you know, other than the roster, it's a pretty good game. Pretty good fighting game. Yeah, we'll get on to MVC3 later. I have that on the 360. And I emulate MVC 1 and 2 because those games I'd have to literally give an arm and a leg for. I'd literally have to, like, just rip them off and give them to somebody for them to give me a copy of MVC 1 and 2, because they are so expensive and rare. Mega Man 11, pretty good game. I like it a lot. I choose Baby Easy mode because I am a baby. Yeah, I choose, like, the easiest difficulty mode because that's what I have fun with. And, well, I choose the one where you can die from bottomless pits, no, I choose the one where, like, I think you can fall in once, and then if you fall in a second time, then you die. But yeah, overall, pretty fun game. Graphics are good. I love the free DLC soundtrack, and I love the fact that it's free, because that is a really nice addition that it's free. Yeah, just pretty great game overall. Nice continuation of Mega Man, and sadly, they didn't do anything after that. I mean, I thought it sold well, and it's a great game, but they just never continued. They just released collections afterwards. Collections like the Mega Man Legacy Collection, or Mega Man X Legacy Collection 1 and 2. Do you like my segues? I like my segues. This is a pretty great collection. There's a lot of great stuff here, and I've played quite a lot of it. I just did a stream of X5 recently, which I still suck at, so, you know, good to know. But this is a great game. This is a really, really fun game overall. Lots of content here. It's only like $20. So for the price, like $20 used, for the price, that's an amazing amount of content. Weird thing is, though, 2 discs. This could easily fit onto 1 disc, but for some reason it's 2 discs. Never really understood that. But yeah, just great games, you know, multiple great games. Here, you know what, for the sake of this, I'll go through it. X1, I can get to the Wily levels before quitting. No, it's not Wily. Wily isn't in these. I guess Sigma levels, then? I can get to the Sigma levels. The Sigma levels are so insanely difficult, I just, like, I can't. X2, I can barely get anywhere in. It's really difficult. Same with X3. X4, I can get fairly far in. X5, I have beaten before, and on the stream, I got to the final boss. X6 is so insanely difficult that I just can't. I've beaten Mega Man X7, and I've beaten Mega Man X8. So, I am the one human on the face of the earth that has beaten and enjoyed Mega Man X7. I actually enjoy Mega Man X7. NBA 2K18, as you can see, it was 99 cents, so I picked it up. And I am still not a basketball fan. Wow. I played NBA 2K12, and I'm like, hey, maybe I should give it another shot. Maybe I'll like this one. No, it was $1, so I bought it. And I'm still not a basketball fan. What a shock. So, yeah, we'll sell that at some point if anybody will give me any money for it. Because, of course, you know, it's an outdated sports game. Nickelodeon Kart Racers, the original. There's definitely a lot of flaws with it. I remember... I'll say this. I understand people hating this, and, you know, I totally understand it, but hey, let me tell you, I played so many hours of this thing. No joke. Like, even though it looked bad, pre-release, I was so excited for it. I remember watching the trailer for it. I remember when the trailer first released, and I was like, oh my gosh, this looks awesome. And the first thing that came to my head was Cartoon Network Racing. And Cartoon Network Speedway, or Nicktoons Racing. You know, Nicktoons Racing. I'm like, oh my gosh, a sequel to Nicktoons Racing. And of course it does not deliver on that. There's only 12 characters. I think it's 3 from SpongeBob, Patrick, and Sandy. 3 from Hey Arnold. No, 2 from Hey Arnold, Arnold and Helga. 2 from Rugrats, Tommy and Angelica, and then the 4 Ninja Turtles. Is that 12? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I think that's close to 12. Oh no, Reptar. There we go. That makes up the 12th spot, is Reptar. Because of course Reptar has to be included, because, you know, Reptar is apparently a character? I never got that. I never got how, like, in the more recent ones are like, here's Reptar, he's playable, he's a fighter in Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, and he's a racer, and I'm like, no, he's not, he's a toy. It's like if you were to make a Fox racing game, and it was all about, like, different animated Fox reps franchises. So you had, like, Bob's Burgers, Hank of the Hill. That's a YTV, King of the Hill. You know, you had, like all these Fox franchises, and then to represent the Simpsons, you had Itchy and Scratchy. That's basically how I think of it. Is like, no, Itchy and Scratchy is characters off of a TV show. They're not characters in the show, you know. But, you know, whatever. Reptar, he's a playable character. But yeah, there's only 12 characters, which is a pretty big blow, especially since 4 of them are TMNT, and they can kind of be interchangeable. The controls are super stilted. The slime races are just really slow and kind of boring. Like I said, the controls are super stilted. There's no voice acting. It's very soulless. But, still, I've spent so many freaking hours in this game. And it is to a point where, you know what? If I were to pop it in right now and play it, I'd probably have fun with it. It's just one of those games. I don't know what it is, but I love this game. I've spent so many hours of it, and I'll probably spend tons of hours more, because I don't know, I guess I'm just a moron. Even I see the problems with it, and still I have fun with it. So I don't know, but I remember spending so much time with this, and I'll probably spend a ton more hours with it. Hey, but here's a better one. Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2 Grand Prix. This one is awesome, really. This one is really, really awesome. Because it honestly feels like Game Mill, which were the people who published both of these, saw the first game, saw what people didn't like, and actually took that in consideration and basically reworked the entire game, knowing the negative feedback that the first game got. It's like they were genuinely trying to make a better game, and I can commend that. There's a ton of characters, lots of different franchises are shown off here, you know. You got usuals like TMNT, but you can also Danny Phantom, Jojo Siwa, because apparently she is actually a character and not a human being. You know, you got Loud House, Rocko's Modern Life, Zim. This really was, it seemed like an attempt to actually make it better and really learn from what went wrong with the first game. Something that Garfield Kart Furious Racing should have done, but it didn't do. But this is just a fantastic game. I spent so many hours into it. Yeah, again, I think it's better than Nickelodeon Kart Racers, but you know what's funny? I think I've spent longer in Nickelodeon Kart Racers 1. But I still think that's a better game. Like, this is a better game, way overall. Better game. You know, better items, better races, better... There's a lot better about it. Oh no, this is a big one. I love this. Persona 3 Dancing in Moonlight, Persona 5 Dancing in Starlight, Endless Night Collection, the longest name ever. This game is... These games are fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I've spent countless hours in these. I love how it includes an art book. I don't like how it's actually included in the book, so it's like, okay, I kind of want to experience this on my own time, but I guess I have to open up the box to include it. I feel like, it's weird, I feel like there was a Japanese edition that was bigger and had, like, the art book separately. I could be wrong about that, though, but it seems like that normally is what happens when, you know, we get collector's editions of Japanese games. We tend to get the lower end and, you know, kind of a worse collection because they don't expect it to sell well. Anyway, these games are absolutely fantastic. There are absolutely incredible dancing rhythm games. They're really cheap nowadays. I think they're only $20 each. So, you know, if you like Persona 5's music more, go for it. If you like Persona 3's music more, go for it. Or if you like both of them, like I do, go for both. $40 is incredible for both of these. And the perfect thing about this, I remember pre-ordering this, which was awesome. So this was $100, but it included, at the time, two $60 games and Persona 4 Dancing All Night as a digital download, which I don't think you can buy this normally. I think this was the only way to get Dancing All Night on your console. So that is a game that is only available via this bundle, which is another great game that's usually like $20, and two $60 games at the time. This was an incredible deal for the price. And it includes some DLC, which is nice. Incredible for the price, incredible games. I do think Persona 4 is probably the worst out of these. Persona 4 is kind of weird. It has this weird story mode that's just kind of slow and boring and not nearly as fun as the story mode in Persona 3 and 5 dancing. And the story mode Persona 4, like to get new songs, you have to go to the story mode. It's this long. There's more text in it than dancing, which is, you know, it's kind of a problem. But you know, I didn't buy it for that. I bought it for these, and all three games are still good. It's just these are fantastic. I don't know how much that collection goes for nowadays. I'm assuming a lot, since it's, you know, a special edition of a game that I don't think would have really sold well. I mean, you got Persona 5 fans, but do most Persona 5 fans want to dance? I mean, me being a person who loves both the Persona games and dancing rhythm games, like rhythm games are like my bread and butter. Of course, I'm gonna enjoy it. But you know, speaking of Persona 5, we have Persona 5, the original copy, which yes, I did pay $49. Technically, I paid $50 for the PS3 copy. My brother bought this, and then he didn't like it, so he gave me this. So, like, technically I did pay $50 for a copy, but not this copy. So yeah, this was years before it got added as a PlayStation Hits, and it's a pretty great game. Yeah, I mean, just like every Persona game, you know, great action, great storyline, and great music. Although I will say the storyline, it's, in my opinion, it's not as good as Persona 4. I still think, in my tier list of storylines, it's Persona 4, 5, then 3. Now this goes without saying, not goes without saying, but I will say this: I haven't played a lot of 3. I've played about 10 hours, 15 hours, so maybe the plot might get better later on. But so far, the plot in 3 was just kind of confusing. I didn't really care for it that much, and then in the plot in 5, there's some things that, like, some kind of weird things that happen that I'm like, now wait a second, but you know. That's a long story. In terms of games, actually, which is funny, Persona 5 was the first Persona game I tried out. It was the one that I was really excited for, and I bought it on the PS3. By the way, I want to mention, I bought it on the PS3 leagues before it gained popularity. I want to mention that because I feel like, and this is just a me thing, maybe this is like a weird conspiracy, but I feel like Persona 5 only has gotten popular as of late. Like maybe the last 3 years, and I'm just gonna say it, I feel like Joker being added to Smash is what super increased the popularity to the point of where it is now, where it's at now. When I got into it, it wasn't nearly as popular than what it is today. So I just want to mention that, like, you know, I don't want to be that guy, but I played Persona 5 before it was cool to play Persona 5. But you know, but yeah, this was the first Persona game I started with, and you know what's funny? I think it's my least favorite, which is really strange. I think Persona 3 has better characters, but a worse story, but better characters, and a better hub world. I actually like the hub world better, and I like the hub world a lot better, actually, in Persona 3. And then Persona 4, I think, has, like, the best of all three, or the best of, like, both worlds, and it's generally my favorite. This isn't a bad game, though. This is still an incredible game, but when I compare it to the other two, this is the one that goes, you know, the lowest. Which is funny, because when I first got this, I absolutely loved it. And I still do really enjoy it. I've spent about 50 hours in it. Like I said, I've never actually completed any of the mainline Persona games, which, you know, call me a fake fan, I don't care, I get it. I get it, but, yeah, still a great game, though. You know, it's $20 now, so, I mean, it's a great price, you should probably pick it up, but I do recommend, and again, this might be conspiracy, or this might be just butthurt, but if you like Persona 5, go back and play the other ones in the series. I can't tell you how many people I've talked to where I'm like, oh, you're a Persona fan? They're like, oh, yeah. And I'm like, oh, well, what's your favorite game? 5. Oh, okay, have you played the other ones? No, we've only played 5. Why have you only played 5? I don't know, because it's the one, like, they're always just like, oh, it's the one everybody else plays, or, oh, it's the only one I liked. But I'm like, but you've never tried the other ones in the series. And, like, I get it. It's hard to buy them on PlayStation, on newer consoles. I understand that. Nobody's, you know, a lot of people aren't in the mood, especially if you're used to playing console games. A lot of people aren't in the mood to bust out their PS2 emulator and get a copy of Persona 4 running, or nobody's in the mood to go out and buy an $150 PS3 to buy a digital copy of Persona 4. So I get it. But especially since Persona 4 Golden is coming out on PS4 just a couple weeks from now, which, yes, I'm so doing a live stream of that. I am so doing a full game live stream of that. I cannot wait for that. But since Persona 4 Golden is coming out on PS4 later this month and is already out on Steam, if you like Persona 5, please give the other ones a shot, because I think it deserves it. I mean, I know this is just butthurt me, but there you go. That's my 2 cents on Persona 5. Great game, but I think it gets too much love. But continuing on with Persona 5, we've got Persona 5 Strikers, which was only $8. So I was like, oh, shoot, why not? I used to have this on Switch. Which it was all right. I paid it like $30 for it on Switch originally, and I was like, this is okay. I'm not a super big Warriors fan, which is probably why I sold it. Why did I buy it back? Because it was $8. I feel like I want to give this a second shot and actually try it again. Because, the storyline, it's still good. I like, I like the characters, and I like the, plot line and stuff, I guess. But, yeah. And that character, which I am just now learning about from showing my dad the Xbox One version of Persona 5. Yeah, I only knew about this character no, this character's new. The other character, the character that was introduced in Royal. She appears briefly in this game, like at the very start of the game. And when I first played this, I'm like, okay, well, I know who you are, but at the same time, I have no idea who you are. So since Persona 5 Royal came out on Xbox, I was like, hey, Dad, I'll play Persona 5 for you, and I'll kind of show the game off. And that's where I got to figure out this character. This character's completely new, though, and I have no idea who that character is. But like I said, since I did own it on Switch and then sell it, I haven't played a lot of it. I've played maybe an hour. Maybe. And at some point I will get around to playing more of that. But Puyo Puyo Tetris for $13.99. It's good. It's really, really good. I think I'm kind of a bit spoiled, though. And what I mean by that is I played Puyo Puyo Champions first on Switch. I played a lot of it. Like, a ton of it. Not like a ton, but for me a ton. I think I played 10 hours, which for something as simple as Puyo Puyo, like 10 hours is a lot. So I bought this game, and it's fun, but it's really hard for me to actually spend time playing Puyo because I kind of got a little bit burnt out after playing Champions for so long. But it's still a great game, good storyline, good characters, fun gameplay. But yeah, that's why I haven't played a lot of that. Now here's a big one. Ratchet and Clank 2016. This game is absolutely mind-blowing. This is an incredible game. The game based off the movie, based on the game. This is absolutely incredible. So, picture me, all right? This is mid-2016. This is after Ratchet and Clank released. Or maybe before. I think it's after. I'm a Nintendo fan. I'm a Nintendo and Xbox fan. There's a living room Xbox 360. We still don't have an Xbox One because we didn't care to buy a new one. So there's an Xbox 360 in the living room. I've got myself a Wii U. I'm a Wii U fan. I've been spending time on my Wii U. I love my Wii U. And I love my 3DS. And then I'm, perusing Walmart. I'm just bored. Kind of waiting for my grandma to finish her shopping. And I go, sure, I'll go into the PlayStation aisle, I guess. I've never really, used a PlayStation anything before, really. I've never been a PlayStation fan. And I'm like, I boot up the PS4 kiosk, and I'm like, Ratchet and Clank, sure. And that is when I became a PlayStation fan. It all started here. This game is the reason why I became a PlayStation fan and loved PlayStation. Thank you, Ratchet and Clank 2016. This game is incredible. It was like going into a new dimension. Playing that game, I'm like, first off, it looked 10 times better than anything that was on the Wii U or the 360, because at that time I didn't really see much else besides the Wii U or 360. And not only that, the gameplay was just so addictive and so just cool, and the weapons were so cool, and I'm like, how have I missed this? So this game is absolutely just incredible. Buy it. It is so good. So good. Really, really great game. And, I know a lot of people are going to hate this, but it is 15,000 times better than the original game. I have the original game, I like the original game, but this is so much better. So much better. And I have the movie as well, and I like the movie. I actually watched the movie before I played the game, which is weird. Like, so, in chronological order, I watched the movie, played the remake, then played the original game. Rime. This was an interesting game. So my backstory with this is I remember seeing, when I was at the peak of watching Crunchyroll, this was a trailer that kept on appearing on Crunchyroll, and it always looked interesting. And it always just looked like this just interesting, the art style really got to me. And I was like, yeah, this looks really interesting. And when we first got the PS4, I think, yeah, the month we got the PS4, the 2 free games in PS Plus was Knack and Rime. So great timing, because I ended up finding out that Knack was really good, and I ended up trying out Rime, and it was pretty good. And then we lost PS Plus, so I had to buy a physical copy. But it's pretty good, actually. I really love the art style. I really love the nice, calming atmosphere of it. It's a pretty good game. And if it weren't for Crunchyroll, I probably would have never even knew that existed. So... And also, if it weren't for Crunchyroll, I probably wouldn't have even booted it up, because, you know, obviously, if it's a game I've never heard of, and it's like, well, it's PS Plus, but, I mean, it's a game I've never heard of, why would I boot it up? But seeing those ads on Crunchyroll a lot, I was like, okay. Sackboy Big Adventure for $30. Was $60. Yeah, this game went on sale really quickly, which makes me wonder, like, did it not sell well? It's a decent game. I think... A lot of people compare it to Super Mario 3D World, and it is. It is a lot like Super Mario 3D World. The only problem is, it's a lot slower. After each stage, I'm like, oh my gosh, that was only one stage? It feels like 3. The levels are a lot slower than Super Mario 3D World, and I think that doesn't go to its advantage. The game feels a lot more, like, slow and kind of boring, but, well, it's weird. Do I say it's boring? No, I don't think the game overall is boring, but it's one of those games where after one level, you're like, all right, I'm good, I want to do something else. It's very much one of those games. Yeah. It's a weird one. It's definitely an interesting take for them to go with the franchise after Little Big Planet 3. Like I said, not a bad game, just really slow. I think it's the running speed's a big thing, too. It's like, you run like this slowly, which I'm like, compared to Mario, where he's like, doo. It's a good visualization. Shenmue 3. It was $4, and that is why I own Shenmue 3. It's not bad, don't get me wrong, but I haven't even tried it out yet. Actually, I haven't even played Shenmue 1 and 2 yet. I have been meaning to emulate Shenmue 1. Shenmue 2, I just flat out can't play. I need to buy a copy of it on the Xbox, which I don't even know is available, or I could buy the remaster, which is... Yeah, that's probably a better option. But I've heard the remaster also has some issues, so I don't know. I bought it because it was $4, it was on clearance, and I was like, sure, why not? And, never played it. Want to play Shenmue 1 first, so, like, I'll get around to this eventually. Looks good. All the Shenmue games look good. But, you know, like I said, need to get around to it eventually. Now, here's a kicker. Here's a good one. SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. I love this game so much. Oh, the build-up to this game was insane. Just like Nickelodeon Kart Racers. I found out about this right when the Steam page got put up. I wasn't really big into Steam, and well, I was big into Steam, but I wasn't like big into Steam to really know when things were happening. But then someone sent me the link to the Steam page and was like, look at this, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so cool. So I was actually keeping up with it all the way till release, and when I finally got it, I spent just so many hours playing this game. I've beaten it like 4 times. It's a really, really great remake. I mean, are there problems? Definitely, yeah. But it's a really, really fun remake. It's really, really fun. Even when I got the PS5, the first thing I did was beat this game again, because it's that good. Like, I was more in the mood to beat that again than play, like, Spider-Man Miles Morales. So that kind of tells you something. Tearaway Unfolded for $10. Oh, pre-owned and pre-owned. I want so I guess this game got marked down at some point. I know that this is not my original copy. In my original copy, I paid $15 for it, so I'm assuming that's what this was. It was $15, then got marked down to $10. It's all right. I mean, yeah, it's fun. It's a little bit too slow though. It kind of goes for more atmosphere than actual gameplay, and it becomes kind of just boring at points. But then again, the atmosphere is really good and the graphical style is really good. But at the same time, because of that, it kind of gets stale. Yeah, it's a weird kind of like up and down ride, and I don't know whether it's really great or bad. It's just kind of really in the middle. There's points that I like, there's points I don't like, and like I said, it's like that's kind of like the entire game's like that. You have a lot of fun, and there's a huge amount of downtime. You have a lot of fun, there's a huge amount of downtime. So it's like, yeah. It's got great music though. Great music. Seriously, the music in this game is incredible. If you don't care about the game, look up the soundtrack. Just, at least do that, because your ears will be happy. Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus. Kind of a stinker, this one, because I really wanted to play Wolfenstein, and I found this for $1, and I was like, okay, well, let me get it. But I haven't played the first game, and I really want to play the first game, because it looks great. As far as I know, you don't really need to play the first game to know the storyline of this, but I do want to play the first game first, because both of these games look incredible. But, like I said, haven't tried it out. It was $1, though, and I was like, well, do I wait to buy the first game, or do I get this while I have the chance while it's only $1? Okay, I'll get it for $1. This is a divisive one. Yooka-Laylee. I really enjoyed this. Yeah, I really enjoyed this. I remember when it came out, it was just... Jeez, people hated this game. I remember specifically Oni Plays. Like, they just ripped it apart, and I'm like, guys, you do know that this is a small team that are just trying to make the best game that they could. I mean, chill out. They just, like, just teared into it. And I think it's an alright game. I think it's pretty fun. I remember Donkey tearing into it as well. Like, geez, everybody got on the bandwagon. I think the only person that I ever saw that actually thought this game was good was the completionist, and I'm like, thank you, completionist. Bravo. You're finally the only other person I know of that actually really enjoys this game. But I really like it too, and actually I remembered that one of my friends got it on Switch recently, and he also enjoys it, so yay. And he's not even a Banjo-Kazooie fan. He just enjoys the game itself, which, I mean, good. Hopefully that, I think he got recently the expansion pack, so hopefully he plays a bit of Banjo-Kazooie. I want to see what he thinks. But yeah, I like this game a lot. This was actually one of the first games I got for the PS4. Right when I got the PS4, I decided to get this game a couple months afterwards. And I was glad. Everybody else wasn't, though. And I mean everybody else in my household. Yeah, playing this game was kind of a nightmare for anybody else that was trying to do things in the same room. Because it's so annoying, which for me, I find it awesome. For me, I love the Banjo-Kazooie-esque dialogue, but for everybody else, they're like, can you just mute it, please? Mute it or stop, or make them stop talking. So that's it for the PS4 games, and here we have 6 PS5 games. They're my only PS5 games. They've been kind of hard to find. Also, they're really expensive. Also, the PS5 itself was so expensive, so I mean, there wasn't like, I didn't have money to buy games along with it. But the ones that I did get, Ball and Wonder World for $20. I originally had this on Xbox One, and then once I sold the Xbox One, I found this version for $20. I enjoy it, and I say it that way because there should be an asterisk. Asterisk? Asterisk? That's like a French comic, I think. It got video games, but I have like no idea what the source is, so like I don't know why they released them in America since. Anyway, there should be like a little thing next to that, because there's things that I like about it and there's things that I don't. What do I like? Well, first off, it looks beautiful, especially on PS5. This game is like, remembering Ratchet and Clank, the first game to truly deliver the long sought you are playing a Pixar movie experience. This game really does feel like that. Even in normal gameplay, it looks beautiful, just absolutely beautiful. The controls are kind of wonky, and the progression system's kind of weird. Like, I remember I did a live stream of this, and I was playing it, and I was going along, I was having fun, and then it was like, you need to collect more Ballin trophies, and I'm like, I was collecting these? I had to collect them? I thought it was just a level by level basis, and then it's like, no, you actually have to find these things in the levels, and it's like, why didn't it hit me at that? Why was there no tutorial or something telling me, or just something to hint that I needed to, at least in Mario 64, there's no tutorials in there, at least for collecting stars, but you have the star doors, and it says, like, you need to collect this many stars, and you're like, oh, okay. So, like I said, there's things I like about it, there's things I don't, and I feel like I can't really decide between, so it's very much in the middle. It's not bad, it's not good, it is very meh, but I think there's just barely enough more good stuff for me to warrant keeping it. It's a very, like, lucid. Also, it's one of 6 PS5 games, so, like, I kind of, I don't really want to sell it because I don't have a lot of PS5 games. Speaking of Miles Morales, it's Spider-Man Miles Morales Ultimate Edition, which includes Spider-Man Remastered, which was great. Very nice. Very, very good. I've played like nothing of this. I played the original Spider-Man on PS4 quite a bit. I played like maybe 8 hours, 10 hours of it. I just haven't played any of this. I haven't played a single... I've played maybe 20 minutes, max. Same thing for the remaster. I played nothing of it. Like I said, when I got the PS5, and I think I said this before on a live stream, I feel like I shouldn't have got the PS5. Because I got gypped. I originally went in... GameStop had a PS5 available for $600. Now that's $100 more, but it was $600, and it came with Spider-Man Miles Morales and Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, which for that price you're literally getting like $20 off. So I was like, yeah, sure. Or actually, it's $40 off because these games are $70 now. Which, wow, jeez, okay. So I went into that. Or no, I think it was $650. That makes more sense. So I was like, I'm gonna do that, and I decided to call the day of, right when they open, to make sure that they have it available. Right when they open, literally like 5 minutes after they open, I call them, trying to hold it. And right when I call them, he says, sorry, I'm in the middle of selling it right now. So I went into a mini panic attack, because I'm like, well, crap, I'm about to sell like 8 consoles. I can't just back out. I'm already, like, I've already brought with me like 6 buckets worth of consoles that I've already been in the mood to sell. I've already gotten this all worked out. I want to get my PS5. So the next best shot was Vintage Stock. And Vintage Stock, no joke, they had the PS5 itself for $800, along with, you were forced to buy 2 $70 video games along with it. So like $800, like over $800. And thinking about it in hindsight, I made a stupid decision, but at the time, I understand my thought process. I wanted to get a PS5. I already went through this, I already went through this long crap to get it working. I already reset any consoles that need to be reset. Like, I understand my thought process, but thinking on it now, I should have not bought that PS5, because that equaled up to $1,000. It was like $1,015 for all of that, which was insane for just a PS5 and 2 games. Just absolutely insane. And I mean, anyway, I was looking for games. I could barely find games, so I got this. I didn't even mean to get this. It was just, there was like nothing there. Like, they were like, hey, buddy, get 2 games. Oh, but all we have is Ratchet and Clank, Miles Morales, and Just Dance. Pick one. Pick 2 of them. It's like, so, Yeah, I honestly, I just don't care that much. Spider-Man Remastered, like I said, I spent like 8 hours in it. It was fun, but nothing that I say is amazing. And yeah, actually, I'd say Amazing Spider-Man is way better than Spider-Man Remastered. Just saying, I think Amazing Spider-Man is one of the best Spider-Man games ever. So why do I don't have it? When I went to sell that PS5, I took towards emulation. And I was like, okay, everything I can emulate, sell. And of course, Amazing Spider Man, the Wii version, runs pretty well in an emulator. So that's why I don't own that game anymore. But that game's seriously fantastic. Pick it up. Anyway. Um, yeah, so like I don't care at all for this game, honestly. But it's one of those games where it's not bad. I mean, it's still a quality product. So I'm kind of at a crossroad with that, really. I don't really know what to do with it. Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3 Slime Speedway. It's pretty darn good. It's pretty darn good. Is it better than the second one? That is really up for debate, because there's things I like better in that one, there's things I like better in this one. I will say, though, graphics improved a lot. For certain characters like Jenny, SpongeBob, they look pretty good. For certain characters like Zim, it looks really gross. But it's got Garfield, so like instant 1,000 points, and it's got voice acting. I hate it because it doesn't even say this in the back of the box. Isn't it like a feature that they say? Yeah, 36 tracks voice acting. Voice acting is very in quotation marks, because yes, while there is voice acting, a lot of the lines they say have nothing to do with what's happening. And the same problem comes with Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. So it's like, there's things I like more, there's things I like better. I think overall, if I were to judge both, I'd say they're kind of both on the same wavelength, but I've had some glitches appear in this that doesn't appear in the second game, and there's some things I like better in the second game. They kept the missions, which I freaking hate, because I always hate the missions, like just. And okay, here's one thing that I think was way better handled in Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2. Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2, it was either the characters were a lot less, you could earn more slime tokens, or the characters were only unlocked via completing cups. Because here, you have to buy the characters, but guess what? You also have to buy carts, wheels, and skins. So what happens is, well, I want to buy characters. That's what I want to do. I mean, whenever I play a kart racer, I want to get the most characters that I can. So I buy characters, well, I'm stuck with like the same 2 vehicles for the entire game. That's a big issue that does not happen in Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2. So I think both are kind of equal. Both have their their flaws and their greats. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. This game was really good. This was, the other game that I got along with the PS5. It's really, really good, and I'm sad to say I've only played like 5 hours of it. Yeah, I want to play more. Not even 5 hours, only like 4. I did 2 live streams, and they were about an hour and a half, so like 4 hours. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. I just never really spent much time in it. It's an amazing game, don't get me wrong. It's just, I don't know. It's one of those things, and I've had it for months now, and I just haven't spent any time with it. It's just really weird. Like, I know it's an amazing game, and it's a sequel to, my favorite game on PS4, but I just haven't gotten around to playing it that much. I need to. I really do. I really do need to. That's just a me thing. Like, I don't know why I haven't gotten around to playing that. Sonic Frontiers, literally the exact same thing. It's a great game from what I've played, but I've only played 30 minutes of it, and I just... I don't know. I need to get around to it, but I just haven't played it. It's a great game, though. Great game. Again, just a me thing, I guess. You know what isn't a me thing? Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 for $30. This was one of those things where I got this like a week after I got the PS5. I was just desperate for more PS5 games. So I was like, Tony Hawk, whatever. And, well, if you know what I know, if you already know what I think about Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, the original, which I don't really care for the gameplay that much. I'm more in it for the music and the pizzazz, which is why I like the N64 version a lot and why I don't really care about the second game. The same applies here. Like, I just don't care that much. And it's like, yeah, I'm just not a Tony Hawk fan. I bought it out of desperation. I am just, I don't care. The music, and well, now there's more songs than the original, so having to search for Superman is so difficult. And even then, I don't even think it's in the game, actually. I mean, it probably is, but trying to search for it, there's like 60 songs in this. So it's just really annoying trying to search for it. And the graphical style, the kind of fun of playing it on N64, that's gone. Um, just like the old graphics I like better. These kind of realistic ones, like, gross. Bring me back to N64 graphics. I want polygons. um, yeah, I mean, is it a bad game? No, I guess. You know, it's well made. I mean, I know people that really enjoy it, but for me, you know how I feel about the other Tony Hawk games. This one just sucks. But that's, I guess, yeah, again, just a me thing. So, that is shelf 1 fully completed, but we got 2 more shelves. So, one shelf has 1, 2, 3, 4 floors, but the floors are half the length. So I should be able to do 2 floors in one video and then 2 floors in another. And then the other shelf has 5 floors, but those floors are a little bit smaller than the next shelf, so it kind of depends. This is the biggest shelf that I have. But there we go, so goodbye.